Hey, what's up out there, everybody? Thank you, as always, for stopping by the channel. It's greatly appreciated. Today we're talking about Rogue from director MJ Bassett, starring Megan Fox. This is an action movie that you may not give a chance simply because of Fox in the lead as a battle-hardened mercenary, but let's get into this one so I can tell you why it may be worth checking out if you're a fan of smaller budgeted actioners. The plotline in this one is more than enough for a thrilling adventure. Megan Fox leads a group of mercenaries who are out in a remote region of Africa. They're on a rescue mission. As it always does in the movies, the mission goes south. The team ends up being stranded and pursued by a crew of rebels. They decide to hide out in a small village, and they quickly learn there's, of course, another threat to them making it out alive, that being the blood-hungry lions that roam the land all around them. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I checked this movie out on sheer curiosity. I do love action movies. I love blockbuster action, straight-to-video action. Doesn't really matter to me when the film is done right. I also love watching actors play outside of their comfort zone. So, needless to say, seeing Megan Fox take on the role of a squad leader out in the thick of it with bullets flying was an intriguing concept. Casting Fox in this type of role was a bold and honestly brave move, but I gotta say, I think she pulled it off, and I had a lot of fun with the adventure that this movie provided. Now, I wouldn't go as far as to say it was a great movie, but I will say the flaws that it did have didn't hinder the overall entertainment factor that much. Sure, there are some story holes, there are some conveniences plot-wise, the special effects for the most part look a little made for TV as well, but I mean, going into this movie expecting the same level of detail in the CG lions as you would expect to see in The Lion King is sort of like expecting a fantastic steak from Denny's. It's just kind of unrealistic. I mean, here, for the sake of Rogue, I would say the visual appeal of the film was more than capable, and to me, it felt like something you would see in a top-tier direct-to-video action romp. As for the story, it gets going quickly, the action kicks in right out of the gate, it pulled me right into what was going on, the runtime is pretty tight, you don't get much of a backdrop on the characters, but at the same time, you don't really need it. I think what this film set out to provide was an appealing chemistry between them that I thought captured all the camaraderie and respect between a group of mercenaries that you need to be able to invest in this story. Something this movie did deliver, however, that kind of surprised me was a nice natural humor that I thought was able to add a fun element to the film without ever undercutting the suspense of a given scene. I mean, these doses of the humor and the writing were very comical. I mean, it rarely felt forced. It kind of made them feel like more badasses because they're kind of tossing jokes around amongst each other, sometimes in the heat of the battle, and from a viewer's aspect, it creates a nice ebb and flow between tension and gunplay and light humor. As for Megan Fox, I think she did a solid job. She put in the effort to try to look the part of a mercenary. Visually, I mean, she looks tactically sound. I mean, at least from a person that's never been tactically sound's viewpoint. Overall, though, I mean, she embodied the part with enough energy to make it work. She did a lot of her own stunts, and that added with the on-location South Africa shoots, I thought created some visually appealing action that wasn't hindered by the use of body doubles. So overall, I would say I was impressed with what Megan Fox brought to this movie. I enjoyed the rest of the cast as well. I liked this collection of characters. Philip Manchester comes in to be some great comedic relief. He had a nice natural flow in the timing of his delivery, and sure, some of the dialogue overall was a bit clunky, but that's to be expected in these type of action movies. This movie knew exactly what it was. It knew when to take itself seriously, it knew when to lighten it up a bit, and the result was a nice action-filled adventure. So I'm going to give Rogue 70% on the meter. I enjoyed the ride this movie took me on. It provides plenty of gunplay, which leads to a lot of fun killing. The camera work was a little shaky in places, but it reins it in just enough to result in a visually appealing ride. The backdrops were beautiful, they were nicely framed, and that's without even getting into the lion element of the story, which I felt created a delightful triangle of bloody carnage. Now for today's My Silver Screen recommendations, I'm going to be selecting another great movie that also has some lions in it. It's called The Ghost and the Darkness, starring Val Kilmer and a way over-the-top Michael Douglas. Next up is another movie set in South Africa that also has a mercenary in it. This time it's called Blood Diamond with Leonardo DiCaprio. And finally, a great female-led action movie that I would also recommend checking out if you haven't seen yet, called The Long Kiss Goodnight, starring Gina Davis. Thank you so much for watching this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, drop it a thumbs up, leave a comment below. I'd love to talk movies with you guys. Share it with your friends, and without question, hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you can never miss a video. Here are some links to some recent reviews just in case you missed them. All my social media links and the link to our official website are down in the description below, and I'll catch you next time.